We're essentially trying to create a transformative education experience at a preschool level. What a lot of people don't realize is that 90% of your child's brain development happens before the age of 5. And so this literally sets the foundation for absolutely all the learning that comes afterwards. And so what we're saying is we want to firstly create a global standard of school readiness education, but we're also trying to make that affordable and accessible. So there are 4 big elements to our program: multilingual learning. So children learn Zulu English or Mandarin in English. We then use Montessori pedagogy, and then we're trying to bring in some of the future skills that children will need. So design thinking and character development are 2 of the elements of our program. Largely my children, as generally happens. There's something that happens in your life and there's a need. And I had a 2-year-old son, and I knew that I wanted him to learn a second language. I wanted him to learn both Mandarin because of the future of China and its impact on Africa and the world. But then I also wanted him to have a local language because he's a South African child. And what I realized through research is that the best age for a child to learn a language is before the age of 6. Unfortunately, not many people are offering anything for before the age of 6, and so that's how the school started. There are the typical entrepreneurial challenges, but then there are also education-specific challenges. Finding teachers in the preschool space is not an easy thing to do. You'd be alarmed that the Economist Intelligence Unit did a study about 2 years ago and discovered that only 12% of the ECD teachers, early childhood development teachers in South Africa, are actually trained to be preschool teachers. So not a lot of training in that space. And so to that end, we've developed our own teacher training program where we're trying to take undergrads and we put them through a 1-year Montessori qualification. The other thing is also just educating the market about the fact that preschool is so important. The tendency is still to think that it's childcare. So those are the typical educational challenges. The entrepreneurial challenges, I could go on forever. It's still a tough space to play in. And certainly the current and the current socio and political climate isn't making things easier. In terms of sort of moving from a typical startup to a business raising capital, that's not as straightforward as you would think it is. You have to do quite a bit of digging to understand what the climate looks like. And we've got a very nascent venture capital or angel investment space for startups. So it's a bit of a who knows who type of situation as opposed to sort of going and figuring it out as any startup. And then certainly in my space, I struggle with the legislation and regulatory red tape. As an entrepreneur, I spend far too much time on that instead of just thinking about growing the business and employing more people.